The coalition of planets have officially declared war on the Viltrumites in episode 6 of it. And it is a thing of beauty. So come talk nerdy with me and let's break this episode down. Spoilers ahead. Episode 6 starts off with Thetus and Grand Regent Thragg giving these epic speeches in order to rouse up their forces before the big war. And starting off with Thetus, I keep forgetting that Peter Cullen, aka Optimus Prime, is the voice actor of him. And just when he's giving his speech, all I'm hearing is Optimus Prime, and that's just getting me ready for war. Cullen is the perfect voice actor to have for a character that's meant to inspire others against great odds, so this was just so fitting. Besides having an epic voice actor, I originally didn't think much of Thetus as a character. Like, I knew he was a Viltrumite and I assumed he was strong, but I didn't think he was gonna do much in this war, besides being an inspiration for everyone. And boy, was I wrong about that. Make sure you stay till the end of the video because we're going to talk about Thetus more. And on the other side of the war, you have Lee Pace as Grand Regent Thragg, and his performance is a weird sensation for me. Weird because it's not the type of voice you expect from a leader of this ultra powerful survival of the fittest type of race like the Viltrumites. Because Thragg has a very calm and regal voice. He's basically royalty, so he sounds much like this. He doesn't project power like Conquest, Omni-Man, or any of the other Viltrumites give when they speak. So when Thragg talks, you kind of assume that this dude is a weakling. But at the same time, his voice is kind of frightening just for how calm it is. Because you have to remember, Thragg is the leader of the Viltrumites, and the Viltrumites value strength above all else. Like, he wouldn't be in that top position if he wasn't strong. And like, the biggest indicator of Thragg's danger to me is when Conquest went to him, and Conquest was terrified of this man. And we all know that Conquest is a sick son of a gun. So if Conquest is afraid of Thragg, then clearly there's something to be scared of. It's most likely that that calm demeanor has an absolute monster hidden inside of it. And I'm very excited to see that. But let me know down in the comments of what you think of Grand Regent Thragg so far in this series. Do you think he's threatening enough, or should they have gone with a different voice actor? So the Viltrumite War has begun, but the coalition of planets is missing 3 of its biggest weapons. Across the galaxy on an isolated planet, we have Mark, Nolan, and Oliver stranded there, and Mark is still recovering after his disgusting fight against Conquest. He's basically in a coma, which makes sense if you had like 4 miles worth of intestines pulled out of you. So with Mark recovering, it's just Nolan and Oliver together having to do some pretty awkward father-son bonding time. And it's awkward because Oliver is still extremely angry with Nolan. And not just for not visiting Oliver while Nolan was on Earth, but for Nolan's conversation with Debbie. Yeah, Oliver heard all of that. Oliver overheard Nolan say that being with Oliver's birth mother, Andressa, was a mistake, and because of that, Oliver feels like he is a mistake and that Nolan doesn't actually care about him. And Nolan tries apologizing, saying that, you know, he's doing the work, he's trying to be a better person, but it's really hard. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard, but not that hard, Nolan. So Oliver and Nolan still have issues for a while after this, until Oliver gets the energy to demand a full explanation from Nolan. And for the first time, I feel like Nolan is actually being truthful. Nolan admits that the reason why he said he didn't love Andressa and that being with her was a mistake was just because he didn't want to hurt Debbie more than he already has. And in hindsight, that didn't work out because Debbie didn't like him saying that either. Like, oh, so she was a mistake, and how am I supposed to know you didn't think I was a mistake? It all just backfired on Nolan because his whole apology was just him trying to cover his own butt. But Nolan tells Oliver that he does value and loved his time with Andressa, and he absolutely loves Oliver, and he wants nothing more than to be a better father for him. Oliver is still upset by this, but at least now he's less hostile towards Nolan. You see, people love the truth. Just tell him the truth. And I feel like at this point is where Nolan is starting to make his way over that hump of actually being a good person. Now, it's a really large hump for him to get over. He's done a lot of awful things, but at least progress is being made. So after having that hard conversation, Oliver and Nolan's relationship can finally start healing, and now they're genuinely spending time together. But after 2 to 3 months of being on this planet, Mark finally wakes up, and he's got like his like makeshift beard and mustache going. He's gonna have to trim it a bit because it looks kind of gross, but look at him, he's got facial hair now. But now that Mark's up and healthy again, all three of them can get back into the war. If you remember from last episode, Tech Jacket and Alan the alien are hiding away on the Viltrumite ship, waiting for their chance to escape. And once they see coalition ships off in the distance, they take off. But unfortunately, Tech Jacket is not as fast as Alan, and the two Viltrumites are catching up to them. So Alan pulls back and starts fighting them to give Tech Jacket some time to escape. And I was starting to get really sad. I was so worried that Alan was going to get killed, because at first he was holding his own, like he was going after him, but you know, these two Viltrumites seemed to mean business. And the beatdown was taking a bit too long, so I was like, oh no, they're not going to kill my boy Alan, are they? I feel like he's the one anchor in the show. Like if he were to die, I may stop watching this. No, I wouldn't, but I would want to though. Thankfully, Tech Jacket comes flying back, and I'm just like, girl, what are you gonna do? Those two Viltrumites are about to wreck you. But then she had my boy Space Racer riding up behind her. I'm like, I completely forgot about Space Racer and his Infinity Ray, and he takes a shot out of one of the Viltrumites' midsection, like, boom, it was completely gone, and it completely destroyed their ship. I feel like with a gun like that, Space Racer is practically unbeatable. Like, they should just take him to the Viltrum planet and just boom, shoot at it. And I loved how that other Viltrumite saw his partner get shot and killed, and he just got the heck out of there.
Oh, you want something too, old man? Huh?
No! But after this scene, we get a full-on war montage showing the devastating losses on both sides, and I was surprised by how well the coalition of planets was doing against the Viltrumite Empire. Like, I do know most of the Viltrumite's army consists of non-Viltrumites, so that's a big part of it, but even some of the Viltrumites are getting taken down by Tech Jacket, Alan the alien. Obviously we just saw Space Racer take one out, but definitely Battle Beast. I love that scene where Battle Beast is just going through all of the enemy soldiers, and then you see that one Viltrumite like at the end of the walkway and he's like, look, the Viltrumite's looking tough and strong, but we all know that's a wrap for you, dude. And it's funny because usually when you see a Viltrumite in this series, you get that feeling of dread, like, oh my god, like how much destruction is this dude gonna cause? Like, cause they're so powerful and deadly, but when one is about to fight Battle Beast, it's a completely different story. I lightweight feel bad for the Viltrumite in this case. But because of the likes of Battle Beast, Space Racer, Tech Jacket, the coalition is starting to win this war by a large margin. And Thetis is having a meeting with all the leaders of the coalition about the war, and they're starting to get cold feet because they're losing a lot of their people, which I get, but like, come on, y'all gotta finish this through. The Viltrumites need to go. But it's at this moment we get a pretty dangerous reveal, because the computer mole slug guy thing, well, he turns off the defense system of the planet Telescria, revealing that he is the mole. He's the one that's been feeding information to the Viltrumites all this time. And with the defense system of the planet down, that's when Thrag and his Viltrumites attack. And it's a whole bunch of destruction. The ship's shooting down on the planet, Viltrumites are flying all over the place, attacking civilians and soldiers, and this part was so goated. So we see General Krieg flying around, calling out for the betrayer, Thetis, and then Thetis Prime himself just comes out here, just socks him. I was like, ooh! And it's in this final scene in which my entire perception of Thetis completely changed, because like I said earlier in the video, I knew he could fight, but Lord Jesus, he was going in on the Viltrumites. He put belt to booty on General Krieg. Like, he literally stomped him into the ground. Like, any Viltrumite that got in Thetis's vicinity got wrecked. Like, look at that one dude that gets his neck snapped by him. He was channeling the murderous energy of Optimus Prime from the Michael Bay movies. Like, there was no mercy for anybody in his path. And it honestly makes sense for Thetis to be this strong, because he was the one that assassinated the Viltrumite Emperor. And you can't be the Emperor of Viltrumites without being super powerful. And for Thetis to be able to assassinate him, That explains it. But despite being on a crazy kill streak, Thetus is just one person, and the rest of the planet is starting to get overrun. Buildings are being destroyed, people are still being slaughtered, and Tech Jacket was about to get murdered by that Viltrumite Anissa. But then out of nowhere, something punches Anissa and sends her flying, and it's my boy Mark Grayson! The Invincible trio has arrived. So Mark goes to fight Anissa, and Nolan and Oliver go down to clear out all the enemy soldiers. And here's another example of Nolan becoming a better person, because while he's down there, he tells Oliver like, hey, make sure not to kill these soldiers because they're all just slaves. If we keep them alive and drive out the Viltrumites, then they might join us. And I'm like, look at you, Nolan, being considerate of others' lives. Like, that's a big step. His character arc is pretty legendary right now. But the battle really comes to a close when Mark and Oliver just fly straight through the Viltrumite ship with Thrag still in it. And at this moment, I thought Thrag was going to come out and fight, but instead he was just like, nah, we're going home, and orders a full retreat. Which honestly, I'd say was the smart decision because things weren't looking good for them. But with the planet saved and the Invincible trio with them, Thetis orders a counterattack on the planet Viltrum, and their mission is to destroy Grand Regent Thragg. And right now it seems like the coalition has all the momentum, but after seeing Thragg crashing out while his ship was blowing up, I have a feeling that man is gonna do something violent. I know right now there's not a lot of people that are impressed with how Thragg was presented in this series, but I have a feeling next episode, he's gonna prove why he's the Grand Regent of the Viltrumites. But what do you think of the Viltrumite War so far? And what is your favorite moment of it? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you missed my previous discussion on episode 5, go ahead and click on the box right here, and I'll see you in a bit.